the first thing is just to get committed to the decision. And then the second thing that you need to do is really create a plan. For me, creating a plan is extremely motivating, right? Like if I know where I need to go and the targets that I need to hit, then for me, it creates more reality with it. So I'm actually streaming this from Periscope too. What's up, Periscope folks? If you want to share the stream here, I'd really appreciate that. We're talking about financial freedom. So when I get a plan in place, it helps me kind of understand where I'm going, and I can start setting benchmarks. So, my first target, after I got debt free working for Grant was I want to get 100 grand in the bank. And I knew I was going to invest this money, but my first target was get $100,000 in the bank, and then you can get rid of it. So everything that I did was focused around production. Everything that I did was focused around what can I do to hit that target. I mean, it consumed me. I was literally obsessed with what can I do to get to that point? And that was, putting money away. I mean, literally just living on as little as I needed to, and creating as much time as I possibly could throughout the day to improve my skill and to really accelerate the path to getting to that money. So the target will be important with you because it'll give you a finish line and a vision. So for other people that's doing the math to making phone calls, for our sales guys here, we have call minimums. We know that if you make 150 phone calls a day, there's a good chance you'll have 2 presentations. Once you get to 10 presentations, you're probably going to get a deal. So the numbers are really important. The third thing you need to do is you need to commit to becoming a true professional, an expert, an expert in your field, an expert in your space. This is where you're really going to start accelerating the amount of income that you're going to be paid. And that's important because if you got a job where you're making $40,000 a year, I mean, it's going to be a long road to get to where you want to be, to where you truly have financial freedom. So, a lot of times I feel like people say stuff like, oh, well, I don't have the opportunity to make the money here. This probably isn't the right job for me. They've made the decision, right? They've made the decision to become rich, and they've set the plan in place. But then when it comes to their job, wherever they're doing to produce money, they go through this whole period of like, man, is this really the place for me? And one thing that I will tell you is that if you're like in a sales position, for example, if you're not the #1 producer where you're at, then you don't need to worry about going and getting a new gig yet. You need to master where you're at first.
Young Hustlers is also available for download on iTunes and Stitcher. See the link in the description below.